Death has taken our beloved Daryl. Our friends grieve in their darkened world. In their silence there's lamentation. In their tears there's loneliness. Lost in their sorrow may they find the presence of loving friends. Hear them, be with them. For Daryl's love that united us in life and which death cannot sever. For her companionship that we shared along life's path and which continues through the tenderness of memory. For the gifts of her heart and mind that brought us joy and happiness and is now a precious remembrance. For all these and more, we give our thanks. Those who wish may join me in the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. My rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. For everything there is a season, a time for every experience under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to throw stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to discard, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we will remember Daryl. In the blowing of the wind and the chill of winter, in the opening of buds and the rebirth of spring, we will remember her. In the rustling of leaves and the beauty of autumn, in the beginning of the year when it ends, we will remember Daryl. When we are weary and need of strength, when we're lost and sick at heart, we will remember her. When we have joys we yearn to share, we will remember her. So long as we live, Daryl too shall live, for she is now a part of us as we remember her. Now I call upon Vicki.
Mask on or off?
You can take yours off.
I'm taking mine off. Ah, I remember this. Thank you everyone for coming today. I'm very appreciative of those who came long distances and short to help me say goodbye to my mom. I want to start. I'm talking just kind of off the cuff here today. Usually I'm being a writer, I would have everything all written down. I would have quotations and circles and arrows and everything on the back of everything. But that's not happening today. So I have a couple of points I just want to kind of ramble on about. First of all, let's start with that last name. The fact of the matter is, there's nobody in my family who pronounced it the same way. I didn't even know that for a long time. My mother pronounced it with a soft G, Ganger. My dad pronounced it to rhyme with hanger, like ganger. And I took the middle around and I used the hard G all the way. So when people can't spell it, and they rarely can, because they look at the G and the A and they put an invisible R in between there. I don't know why, but it's happened on. But I go with ganger. So when people don't quite get it, I say it's anger with a G in front of it. And it kind of, oh, I don't know if there's any connection whatsoever. But the fact of the matter is, I have these roses, and I brought them because for years now, I had been bringing my mom wherever she was, whether it was in the hospital or the rehab or at the assisted living where she finally ended up. I brought her what used to be 6 roses from Heinen's. Now it's 5 roses from Heinen's. And I brought them today, 1, because it's kind of a habit I can't get out of, and 2, because I wanted them to stand for some different characteristics about my mom. So, the first characteristic is obviously longevity. Mom came from a farm in Kentucky. She had 9 brothers and sisters. She was the youngest of 10, and she outlasted them all, pretty much with 1 or 2 exceptions, outlasted on Dad's side of the family. And in some ways, she kind of outlasted herself, which can happen when you get very old. She wasn't sad about it. She wasn't really happy about it. She just was. And she took things in a much greater stride when her brain started to tire out. And that made it actually a lot easier for me, and to be able to do what I needed to do in order to take care of her. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to do that. She died on the 12th of October, in another month and a half from now, she would have been 98. So that is a long time to fight with the world, because my mom liked to do that. It's kind of weird to stand up here and say all this, because my mother was a very private person. Very few people knew much of anything about her, and she preferred it that way. She didn't really have good friends. She had cousins that she hung out with at family gatherings, but she kept things to herself, and it was a long time before I found out some stuff about my mom. But because she's a private person still, I'm going to keep a lot of that to myself today. You can ask some other time. But the fact is, Mom came from a family that I only recently found out didn't really practice a religion. Now, they were down in Kentucky. At the end of their property, they had a Baptist church. There were a whole bunch of them on that farm, but first of all, they weren't Jewish. In fact, they had never seen a Jewish person until my dad came to visit. But they weren't anything else. They weren't Presbyterian or Episcopalian and didn't follow much. So when Mom joined my father in marriage, and he was Reformed Jewish, Mom kind of went along with it. It wasn't her preferred thing, but she went along with it, and she followed the traditions extremely well and was very supportive along the way. Okay, there's a rose here for independence. Mom left the farm when she was about, I think, 16. And she went to a junior college and got a teaching degree. She taught for a little bit, and it wasn't really what she wanted to do. So she went off and did a bunch of different things. She worked in retail. She worked as a bookkeeper. Her final job was as head of a payroll division for Medusa Portland Cement, which had its headquarters over on Lee Road in Cleveland Heights. She also worked at an Arthur Murray dance studio. Who would have figured that? But she did. And that's where she met my dad, actually. And the rest is sort of kind of history. And all her life, she did enjoy dancing. Until she really couldn't dance anymore. But she tried her darndest to instill that love into everybody. She tried to teach my brother to dance. She tried to teach my cousin Bill here to dance. She tried to teach brothers and sisters and other cousins on the other side to dance. She failed miserably, but it was great when she went on cruises, because she and Dad liked to cruise quite a lot, and she always enjoyed the dancing, not to mention the midnight buffet. She really liked the midnight buffet. She was stubborn as all get out. There's a rose for stubbornness. She did things her own way, the way she wanted to do it, when she wanted to do it. She followed traditions the way she understood traditions, but she had two favorite things. One was the word no, and the other one is I don't want to. So that kind of featured prominently pretty much through all our relationship. I kind of picked it up, so in between the two of us and our stubborn natures, we didn't always get along, but ultimately it all turned out to be okay. I want to talk about support a little bit. And I'm not talking just from a financial perspective. I'm just talking about how even if she wasn't involved in it or appreciative of it, she supported it. Beyond the money, she supported every effort that my brother and I made to be artistic in some form or another. I can't tell you how many piano lessons she paid for, how many times she schlepped us to rehearsals and performances, how many concerts my father's singer club gave, any number of temple activities and social gatherings and things like that. And I'm not so sure she really wanted to do it, but she felt that she needed to, and she did it extremely well. And it's only thanks to her that my brother is now a professional musician who lives in Munich, Germany, and that I was able to write some songs on my own and record some CDs, and have one of my honored co-singers here today. We're going to try and whip off a little something a cappella, and I'm going to play you a song that my brother wrote. If I could get the Bluetooth to work. But she really was extremely supportive all the way along. She was also very thrifty. And I'm not talking about the penny, well, there was some penny pinching, okay. But I'm talking more about the fact that her greatest joy eventually became clipping coupons and looking for something that was on sale. As far as I know, my mother never paid full price for anything in her entire life. I remember, I think S&H green stamps from way back is where she started. But she was a demon shopper. She was in it for the hunt, and she loved every single minute of it. She's, I think, the primary reason that May companies stayed in business as long as they did. Although she would buy something on sale, and if it went more on sale, my mother would take it back and return it, and then turn right around and buy it again cheaper, because it gave her real joy to do that. she didn't really use all the stuff that she bought, as I encountered when I cleaned out the apartment. But she sure had a bunch of nice stuff, and I'm fairly sure she never paid full price for it, and she was very proud of that. So when she stopped hitting the May Company as much as she did, well, May Company closed and went over to Kaufman's, and she didn't shop there very often. So she alone is responsible. A head for numbers. Wow. My mom had a head for numbers. She desperately wanted me to be a business major, which was about the farthest thing from my mind or my abilities. I'm not good with numbers. Mom was a whiz. As I said, she ended up running payroll for a big corporation at a time where women might be bookkeepers, but they weren't in charge of payroll. She started when there was this thing called the Wang, which they did payroll with punch cards. Big walls of things that you stuck the slots into, and she self-taught herself to do that. So, and she worked tirelessly. When she wasn't cruising, she was working. She worked holidays, she worked late nights, because it made, I think, it was a level of value to herself that she was able to do something like that when certainly I wasn't. She did the family taxes for endless amounts of years. When I started my business, she was constantly bugging me about receipts and things I needed to get to her so she could do it. I get it now. Believe me, I get it. But she did it for every single family member, and she did it for years, and she did it by hand. Yellow ledger paper and a little adding machine that had one of those rolls of paper. I remember it very well. But she did it a long time, and I was envious of that, but I wasn't about to try it myself. So she had a lot of good taste. There's a rose for good taste. As I say, she bought nice things. She bought good name brands, not top end designers, but she bought the stuff, and she always looked great. And when she found a good deal, she'd buy about 4 or 5 of them, whatever it was, in different colors. And she had a closet full of shoes that eventually she hardly wore anything of. She had drawers full of stuff. My dad had drawers full of stuff because of her life. She got a good deal and she liked it. So, but there were also some things that she just held on to because I don't really know. And I've discovered that when I cleaned out the apartment, that never a paper clip had been thrown away. Not a piece of paper, not a broken rubber band, not a safety pin, not a paper. I mean, it was quite astonishing, but it's a good lesson, I hope, along the way, that something better can be achieved. She was a good audience, ultimately. Like I say, the support wasn't just taking us to practices and rehearsals and paying for guitar and piano lessons and stuff. She was a really good audience. She didn't have a musical or artistic bone in her body, but she did appreciate it, and she went to as many different things as we made her go to. And that was quite a great deal. So there's other roses in here, like I say. That's what I've been doing, and I'll probably keep on doing it here. My father doesn't mind. So I'd like to place these in, if that's okie doke. Let's see if I can do this. These were her favorite color. They're called Sweet Unique. They were not my favorite color. Did you know they make orange roses now?
Yeah.
Orange and yellow. I mean, Halloween colors. It's crazy. Thank you. I'm also going to add something else here. The other thing my mom really liked was chocolate. She had sweet things. So courtesy of my wonderful cousins who gifted me with a tray beyond the size of an extra large pizza and then some, I brought one of the milk chocolate coins because she needs something to eat on the way. And I don't really have much more to say unless somebody else wants to say something.
I just want to say something very brief. You said that your mom liked dancing, and I remember when I first met her and you had told me about her dancing, she reminded me of the actress and dancer Ann Miller.
Ah,
Yes, and I always, whenever I thought of Daryl, I thought of Ann Miller. And I also had a soft spot in my heart for her because of Medusa being across and down the way from the print shop that I grew up at, and I'd look out the window and see Medusa.
I loved that thing. I wonder where it ended up. I have no idea.
I remember her lipstick.
Her lipstick?
It was always perfect.
Oh my gosh.
And it was dark, like it was a beautiful red, and it was always perfect. And as a little girl, I was just mystified by her lipstick.
Yes. She had wonderful appearance. She also had 50 different tubes of lipstick.
I'm sure.
I threw them out, every single one of them.
She was, as I was, and some of the others, we were married into
Uh-huh.
this family.
Yes.
I mentioned that, I think, to you. And very often, because you're the married into group, you're thought of and critiqued a little bit harshly. But she and I would sort of look at each other with a sneer and say, "Hey, you know, what the hell? Who cares?" But we care. We really wanted to be part of the family. But it wasn't all that easy, Vicki.
I know. I understand.
But we communicated.
I'm glad. Sue, you got anything to say? You've known my mom a long time.
I just remember being a little kid and always playing at your house, and your mom was always trying to catch us doing something wrong. We were doing.
Yes, she was good at that. And yeah, Bill,
Well, I was one of her dance
victims.
students, and she was wonderful. She couldn't do much with me, but it wasn't her fault. She tried every trick. I was hopeless.
What did she try to teach you? Do you know?
Everything from
Foxtrot,
foxtrot to also a little jitterbug.
Bossa Nova.
My only thing that I could do was the two-step. We called it the Cleveland Heights two-step. Two steps this way, two steps that way. That was the best and she didn't have to teach me that.
That's
She
good.
was,
At least she's, yeah,
she was a lot of fun.
yeah. Yeah, she tried hard. She enjoyed it.
I don't know, did she try to teach my brother too? I can't remember.
I wouldn't know.
He would have been
wouldn't
just
know.
as bad.
All I know is that she made sure we went to Florence Shapiro Dancing School with the white gloves and everything else. So we're going to It's following me. Huh? Okay. I mentioned music. Mary Alice and I are going to try and sing a little bit of an a cappella thing, which is usually done as a trio. And then I'm going to play a song that my brother wrote and hope that... and perform, right.
Take off your mask.
Yeah, take off
Okay,
your mask.
all
I don't mind.
All right.
We'll go over here and... Gazing into golden stream of a fire near, drifting in a waking dream, thought I saw you clear. Spirits of the spark, playing games with light and dark, in the flicker of the flame, I will know your name. Would that I could make it last, keep you close to me, but swift as smoke you hurry past like opportunity. Dancing mesmerized in the spell of ember eyes, in the flicker of the flame, I will know your name. If I had my heart's delight, it would be to see faces framed by firelight, dancing here with me. All we have is time, shaping reason into rhyme. In the flicker of the flame, I will know your name. In the flickers of the flame, I will know your name.
Would you like this up here?
Yeah, and I'm hoping you guys will be able to hear this because I'm not quite sure how to adjust the volume. My brother didn't start writing music of his own, songs of his own, until probably maybe 15 years ago. He played everybody else's music, every classical, everything, on piano. He conducted, he teaches voice and helps with an opera, and but all of a sudden he decided, and he has quickly surpassed the fact that I have, 4 CDs, 4 recordings. He's got a ton more now. But anyway, this song, let me see. This song is called I Can Fly. Not on?
Did you go to your settings?
Let me go back here. It might turn itself off, actually. Okay. Try again. Oops. Where's my mode? There you are. Ah, you got it. I just bought this yesterday, so.
Floating among the clouds so high, racing with birds across the sky, drifting wherever breezes lead the way. gazing upon the earth below, or closing my eyes and letting go, or riding the stream of light where night meets day. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly away. Following the eternal urge, watching the rays of sun emerge out of the deepest gloom and into dawn. Soaring to where my mind is free, then dipping my wings into the sea, then over the far horizon, and I'm gone. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly away. Rising from distant memory, dreams of an ancient destiny carry me to a land I've always known. Seeing what only I can see, a vision of what is meant for me, I smile at a world and know that it's my own. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly away.
Thank you.
There's a expression in Jewish belief that words that are spoken from the heart remain in the heart and are kept in the heart and are cherished in the heart. I don't think it's a need for me to add any eulogy to the words that were already spoken. I don't think I can live up to your performance right there.
Have one.
But I Gotta Believe and Your Brothers song was magnificent. I have to believe that wherever Daryl is now, she heard those beautiful words and the tributes from all of you. And she kept it on your toes, I can tell you that. There's a reading I found that I thought of when Daryl was talking about her mother and what the roses meant and what mother, the way she led her life. And if I can find it, I would like to read it. Birth is a beginning and death a destination. But life is a journey, a going, a growing from stage to stage. From childhood to maturity and youth to age. From innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing. From foolishness to discretion and then perhaps to wisdom. From weakness to strength or strength to weakness and often back again. From health to sickness and back we pray to health again. From offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love. From joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion, and grief to understanding, from fear to faith. From defeat to defeat until looking backward or ahead. We see that victory lies not at some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, but life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage, made stage by stage, from birth to death, to life everlasting. Early and late, all must answer the summons to return to the source of being. For we lose our hold on life when our time has come. As the life falls from the branch when the day is done, the deeds of the righteous enrich us all, as the fallen leaf enriches the soil beneath. The dust returns to the earth, the spirit lives on with God. Like the stars by day, our beloved dead are not seen by mortal eyes. They shine on forever. Theirs is eternal peace. Let us be thankful for the companionship that continues and the love stronger than death. Sanctifying the name of God, we honor the memory of Daryl Ganger. The dust returns to the earth as it was. The spirit returns to God who gave it. It is only the house of the spirit which we now lay within the earth. The spirit itself cannot die. Receive in mercy, O God, the soul of our departed Daryl. Grant her that everlasting peace which you have prepared for us in the world to come. Though no human eye has seen, nor ear has heard, nor mind has grasped it, still it is our sure inheritance and our everlasting portion. O God, help us to understand that grief and love go hand in hand, that the pain which loss inflicts is a measure of a love stronger than death. That we cry in the anguish of our hearts, may we be like children who know that a parent is near, who cling unafraid to the trusted hand. In this spirit, O God, do commit all that is precious to us to your keeping. I'm going to be reciting two prayers. The first one will be in English, in Hebrew, then English. And the Jewish belief is that when we are buried, our soul returns to God. God created, God takes it back. There's no hell or purgatory in Judaism. So we say, El Malay Rachamim Shalchem Bramomim Hamse Menuchad Nachatak HaKamfe Hashkina Im Kodashim Hurim Kazor Harakia Rin Es Nishmas Daryl Ganger Sholach Leolamo Beal Harachamim Yasdirehu Beseser Kanafol Leolamim Vaisror Besor Hachayim Es Nishmato Adonai Hu Nachalato V'Yanuach B'Shalom Amish Gabav V'Amar Omein. Compassionate God, eternal spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Daryl who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let her find refuge in your eternal presence, and let her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is her inheritance, and may she rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. The last prayer we say at a funeral service is called the Mourner's Kaddish. Unique thing about it is we call it the mourner's cottage, but it doesn't speak about death. It talks about life, which is the most important thing in Judaism. Even during our time of grief, life is the most important thing. So at the final prayer, we talk about life, binding generations one to another, and the glory that we hope we all receive at some time in our life. So I'm going to ask those who are able to rise. And those who wish may recite it with me, if you know it. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei rabbah, v'yama divrach yirusei v'yamlik machlisei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chay techal beis Yisrael, v'agalav isman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'elamu lamei amaya, Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yisbarach v'yisramam v'yisnaseh, v'yisadar v'yisalev v'yisalal shemei dekudasha b'rihu, v'yela min kol berchasa v'shirasa, trish b'chasa v'nechamasa, damiram v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'ramav hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God grant peace to those who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us. In Zion, throughout the world, may He give us all peace. Lech ki shalach Adonai, go your way, for God has called you. Lech v'Adonai yet memecha, go your way, may God be with you. May your righteousness go before thee, and the glory of God give you that everlasting peace, and receive you in peace. And let us all say, Amen. So the final tradition for those who wish, either take a handful of soil with a shovel if you want, and place it in the grave with her. It's considered an act of respect. It's not a requirement. So we asked Daryl if she wishes to come forward for.
I'm Vicky.
Vicky, I'm
That's
sorry.
Daryl.
You know, I will tell you a story. The only thing I remember names in this family is her mother, which was legally known as Queen Victoria. Am I right?
My grandma, Mom's mom, was, I didn't know it was Victoria for a while. Then I found out she was actually named Queen Victoria. Now, in the same sort of spirit, amongst the 10 children in the family from Queen Victoria, maybe one of them went by their birth name. Everybody went by a totally different name that had nothing to do with what their birth. And Mom, in her fine form, confirmed that, because when she left Kentucky and the farm, she apparently also left her first name behind. Her real name, the recording's off, right?